me, Bloated Dragon Sonic. Today, we're going to be looking at this, I believe, 17th round of Season 5 of the Formula E Monoposto Championship, hosted by yours truly. Last time out in Australia, we had a messed up final order, which meant that Bloated Dragon Sonic could not take the lead of the championship. He gained 1 point on the championship leader, Ronnie Sola, who is now leading on countback. In the constructors' standings, Mercedes are going to continue increasing their lead if all stays the same. But let's head to Amsterdam for the first time in the championship for the Amsterdam Prix. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm using my tablet's mic for the first time again. But it's Ronnie Sola, the championship leader on pole from Catfish, and Blade Dragon Sonic, the now challenger. Then comes Milestone, not Lewis Hamilton, Rover for Revolution Racing, U Cable, and Ironet Badness. Then best of the rest is Daph Sanchez and Alan Lee making up row 5. Then Medicis and Jake Dennis. Then comes Batuco, Tom O'Connor, P. Sierra, and then Polrock down in 16th place. Then comes Aldridge and Yusuf, the rookie for the season, followed by Stefan Salazar and Marcus Nelson in the 13th. Then comes Mohamed Awawi, then last place, Corinne Shandok. Well, Ronnie Sola hoping that he can keep that lead in the championship as all 5 lights go on. Here in Amsterdam, we go green, and that's an okay start from the Jaguar pair. They're going to go into turn 1. This Banks first turn, side by side. Blade Dragon Sonic, he's not had the greatest start. He's down to 5th as Tom O'Connor getting a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with his own teammate. That's 5 seconds added to the end of his race time. Catfish takes the lead here in Amsterdam. Milestone up into 3rd. Bravo up into 4th. He's trying to send it on Stone. He sent it down the inside, coming through 5, and up into 3rd place goes the man who has won a multitude of races in his career. We're about to go into the 3rd sector. We're halfway through sector 2, and the running order looks like this. It's Ronnie Sola leading by a whole second from his teammate, and then Ravo for Revolution Racing, who's sending it down the inside, still fighting away with the Mercedes of Milestone, and at Boundness getting a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with Bladed Dragon Sonic. The man currently in 5th place, and he's taking this starting phase of this race very slowly. Lap 2 of 25, and the top guys are still all over the back of each other, it seems. The two Maseratis fighting over 6th place. It says we are on board with not Lewis Hamilton in the number 5, chasing down the car number 6 in P6. Ronnie Sola sitting the fastest first sector of anybody. It's a 19.883. As not Lewis Hamilton still not really finding an answer for Badness, but Blade Dragon Sonic has gotten past Ravo there. Up into 4th place he's gone. And he's currently trying to close in on his teammate who has DRS. They both do. The only man who currently doesn't is Ronnie Sola and Alan Lee. Those guys do not have DRS at all. Coming through the chicane, it's so close for everyone. As Sanchez, someone's gone into the wall there, and that is Jake Dennis and Sierra. And Sierra's gone on the top of him. Catfish sending the fastest lap of the E3 to only be matched by Blade Dragon Sonic, who's set a sub 1 minute lap time there. But that's yellows in the 3rd sector for those two drivers. Luckily for them, no full course yellow, and they don't really have too much damage, like 56 and 72% respectively. That is going to hamper their turning ability, but they haven't lost anything on their wings. But as I was saying, Alan Lee currently missing out on DRS for being 7 seconds off the back of Cable. And Ronnie Sola, as the race leader, doesn't get any DRS anyway, but he gets the benefit of clear air through all the turns that he goes through. And that is Ravo getting past Ironet Badness again. Badness looked like he got past there for a sec, but just didn't look like he could. Ravo's not going to get DRS here. It's Catfish, race leader, saying a 58.683. That is a new track record broken. Catfish once again setting the fastest first sector of everybody. This man is absolutely hectic when it comes to speed. But the British Nigerian driver, currently in the number one, 4 times he's won this championship. But around this track layout, never has he ever won. He's currently in fourth. He's had a multitude of podiums. Last season it looked like he could have won, but he just lost it. He's going round the outside at the final turn on his own teammate. Mercedes are letting their drivers fight here. Blade Dragon Sonic is going to get DRS. Stone's had to pull out wide, and he's going to try and go for glory. Blade Dragon Sonic getting the fastest lap of the E3, and Stone goes for glory. Up into second place he goes, but it doesn't seem like he's done yet. He's going for Catfish through turn 3, and he's just lost out on that position. He's lost out to Solo, and if he's not careful, Blade Dragon Sonic could get through as well. No, he can't. He's just not close enough. I don't think Blade Dragon Sonic has the confidence in that Mercedes that he usually does. Solo's dropped down to third. Blade Dragon Sonic's actually on the back of the Jaguar, and he sends it down the inside if you could just about see it. That was an audacious move from the quadruple champion. And he's going on his teammate as well. He's going for broke. He's going to try and take the lead in 3 corners. Here's the last one. He's going to have the chance down the inside on Catfish. He's got a track limits warning. Basically, he's taken off track. But the stewards are not looking at that. They've given him a warning, and he's given himself a good shot at the race lead. He was leading for a second there. Catfish trying to send it everywhere he can. He's looking for a move. They're still side by side. Solo on the back of his teammate, forcing Stone to go wide there. But Blade Dragon Sonic has taken the lead here in Amsterdam for the inaugural race in the Netherlands. What an overtake that was. It was almost like it was a video game move there, as Catfish trying to send it on Blade Dragon Sonic again, and not close enough there. Solo trying to get past Stone and succeeding as Marcus Nelson pits. That's a very early pit stop, and you can see why. He's got a rear right puncture. The Mahindra driver in the pits, and it's so early on in the E3. He's been lapped by the guys out in front then. And Stone getting up into third as Catfish is going to try and send it into 3. Round the outside, nothing in it. Coming through that turn, but he's just not close enough to make the pass there. He's going to have the inside line coming into the next major turn. What I dub as turn 4, but the organisations dub as turn 7. And he's just not close enough there. He's losing out on time. That dirty air behind the Mercedes. That Jaguar isn't really... that Jaguar isn't really doing the best in those conditions, but he's got DRS now, trying to send it. He sent it where he could. Catfish up into the lead, but Blade Dragon Sonic still not wanting to let go of that first place trophy just yet, and you can see why he's let his teammate Stone get by, and that's been an amazing pass from the South African driver. Up into the lead goes the number 95. So looking back with Blade Dragon Sonic then, it's lap 8 of 25. You'd expect the race to calm down, but this race for the lead has been like nothing else this season. And I say that full in the knowledge that this season has had many fights for many a position. In real life, you don't really see fights for the lead. Here, you really do. This is a 4-way fight for the lead. You've got basically 3 different divisions of this championship then. Stone doesn't have DRS, but Blade Dragon Sonic does, and they're just using it to tow away from the Jaguars. But that hasn't worked. Catfish is trying to go once again, and into the wall has gone not Lewis Hamilton! And not Lewis Hamilton at the chicane, just about missing the wall. As he's rejoining the track, he's lost part of his front wing there. He's going to drop down the order as into the pits comes Blade Dragon Sonic for his first stop of the Prix. And he's going to try and undercut those ahead of him. He's going to try and go for a 2-stop. Unless we get a safety car, in which case, that's a strategy gone for him. So now we're going to have a three-way fight for the lead. Blade Dragon Sonic is going to come out in fresh air. Tom O'Connor rounding the final turn, then not Lewis Hamilton only now coming through pit exit. It's going to be close between those two. And he's come out ahead. This entire gaggle of cars has, apart from Alan Lee. So not Lewis Hamilton's rejoined in 11th place. So Aldridge coming into the pits on this lap. Scheduled stop. Very nice. But he's going to come out far down the order. Not as far back as, for example, Marcus Nelson would. Coming through the final turn then, it's Milestone. The top three are all staying out. They're trying to go as long as they can and benefit from softer tyres, especially the Jaguars, who will probably finish this race if it's a one-stop for them on the faster and grippier soft tyres. But if it's a two-stopper, then they're kind of screwed. Because I don't know if they have two sets of softs. Two sets of fresh softs, that is. We've got 15 laps to go here in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. We're in the final stretch of the championship. This championship is almost definitely going to go to Yas Island as Blade Dragon Sonic turning the fastest first sector of everyone. That is everyone in the top positions lapping Aldridge, the number 90 car, for Dragon, and that split them. And that's Rodney Sola, who's been held up by the Dragon there. The top three still staying out for another tour. Inet Babnis, he's gonna come into the pits on this lap. Ravo and UK Ball, UK Ball's coming in, Ravo's staying out. And I think Blade Dragon Sonic's gonna have to employ some tyre management right now. Because currently he's down 90%, 9%. As someone's going to the barriers, and that is Alan Lee, who has gone into the wall at the chicane. He's not lost any front wing elements, but he is definitely coming into the pits at the end of this lap. He's on 43% tyre wear. He's coming in. And that's the Virgin Drivers' day almost ruined. Yusuf's coming in as well. As we were looking back with the top three, who are still battling it out for position there. Only a second in between them. So which one of the Jaguars is going to come in first? Well, and out of the race has gone the four-time world champion. Blade Dragon Sonic is out in Amsterdam. Can you believe it? On lap 12 of 25, he was looking so good. And when it came down to literally everything that could have gone right for him, it was all looking up. But coming through the chicane, looked like he was about to get past this man. Ravo must have been forced wide. Because that amount of skill does not just go under that quickly. And almost halfway through the Prix, the man favourite for the championship is out. Ronnie Sola. It's all but set at this point to win the championship. Not here, of course. They are currently still tied on points, but if it finishes like this, it's going to be 220 for Blade Dragon Sonic and 235 for Ronnie Sola. He doesn't need to win this race, but he's probably going to want to be safer. So winning this race is going to be one of his priorities. But of course, with a safety car, I am going to be a lot quieter. Oh. Yes, I am watching Pokemon X, Y, and Z. And the leaders are coming into the pits under the safety car. And I think we're going to get a word from Blade Dragon Sonic here. Yeah, we've got a word. We've got it in text form. Unfortunately, no audio yet. We are going to get team radio at Yas Marina, which is going to be absolutely helpful for understanding what's going through the drivers. Yeah, it says here from Blade Dragon Sonic. It's really unfortunate what's happened to me today, coming through that chicane. I was given nowhere to go, so it's either we both go out or I go out. So he chose the lesser of two evils. Matt Cosman now overtake the safety car, lap 13 of 25. Car number that the man who was currently out of the race used to adorn is now looking at the number 44 for next season instead of that one he's driven with so long. Jake Dennis coming into the pits at the end of lap 13 for him. Safety cars coming in at the end of lap 14. Lap cars were allowed to go by earlier, but now we get back racing in Amsterdam. 10 laps to go, and it's going to be a brawl between the two Jaguars and the Mercedes of Milestone. So let's see how it goes. Coming through turn 1, Stone doing his best to get Catfish off the back of his tail, but Catfish, he was fighting with that 4-time champion throughout that entire first stint of this race before he unfortunately retired. He's gaining on that Mercedes' Catfish. He was 4/10 away. He's back to 3/10. Solar is nowhere compared to these guys. 4/10 back from his teammate. Got yellow flags in the third sector, and that is for... I'm trying to find who it is. Track's been cleared again, and that seems to be... I can't find the driver. I don't know. It's probably for this man, Jake Dennis. It is not for that man, Jake Dennis. It's for Sierra. 20th place. And that's an issue. That's a very big issue for the Virgin driver. He's had multiple. He's had so many podiums in his career. But this track just about ruins a lot of things that can happen in a race. And we've got more yellows in that third sector. That's a red car. That is Batuco, who's gone off at the chicane. He's missing part of his front wing. We're back on the greens again, though, which is all better. Catfish, he's going to try and send it down the inside of the chicane, and he's put himself in the wall. Stone is out. That is an absolute wipeout. Catfish has done to Stone what Rabo did to Blade of Dragon Sonic, and Mercedes are going to be leaving Amsterdam with no points. Can you believe it? That just looked like a calculated maneuver from the number 2 car from Jaguar. He basically gave up the chance to make a clean overtake and take the lead in that way, with giving his teammate the lead, maximum points compared to his championship rival then from Ronnie Sola, and this is probably going to catapult or catfish back up into third in the Drivers' Championship. Can you believe it? So currently, the top 3 looks like this in this race. Rodney Solo leads, Catfish second, but Babness is third with a 5-second time penalty. Then comes Ravo and Hugh Cable. Then not Lewis Hamilton and Tom O'Connor, the other driver, with a 5-second time penalty. Then comes Daf Sanchez and Medicis, Alan Lee, Yusuf of Aldridge, Chandok, and Sadistan. Then Nawawi, Polarock, Sierra, Marcus Nelson, Chig Dennis, and Batuka. We have lost from this E3. Milestone and Blade of Dragon Sonic. Mercedes, as previously mentioned, are going to look as if they're going to get no points on this crucial weekend for the most successful driver in this championship. Most wins, not most poles or fastest laps, I don't think. But definitely most championships. And it doesn't look like he's going to go perfect for the first 5 seasons. And that, for the viewers, for the people, like the audience, I think it's going to be better. It's always good to see someone different winning. Isn't that right, Max? But as well as that, for the team at Mercedes to have both of their drivers out through incidents that weren't their fault, just forced wide and out, just really can't do anything. There you go. We currently have 7 to the checkered. I don't know if we're going to finish in the drive. We are almost definitely going to be finishing under green. But for Blade of Dragon Sonic, he's going to have to hope for a miracle. He's going to have to hope that Solar retires from the C3 to keep his hopes of an easier championship alive and to keep them level on points coming into what is effectively both of their home races, if I am correct here. I'm going to make sure I'm right in saying this, because currently in Amsterdam, the next race, I do believe it's London. It is London. Then we head to Spielberg and Yas Marina, as it was last season. Spielberg was a fan favorite race. Don't look at the view count. No one watches my videos, sadly. 261 subscribers and barely anyone's watching. Also, I am still grateful for all of you guys subscribing, but, I am in this for 2 things. To entertain you guys, as a passion project, and to fund new tech, really. That's 3 things I hear someone commenting. But yeah. I wonder if the race audio is too loud and you can't hear me, but still fun to vent. We will get back racing on lap 20, 5 to go when we get back racing. This has been such a race of ups, downs, twists and turns, and I guess that is the nature of this Amsterdam track layout. Oh, that's very close to coming into contact with the safety car for Ronnie Sola. Just trying to raise and you start winning immediately. You don't do that in this sport. So, coming through the final turn, safety car coming in at the end of this lap. As previously mentioned, it is very overcast here in Amsterdam. And the top guys are going to stay out. It might start raining on this lap, but with 5 to go, it's anyone's game. We go green again in Amsterdam. Ronnie Stoller from Campus, the 2 Jaguars. All they have to do is take these cars home 1 and 2. It'll be even better if they can finish it in this order, especially for Solar's championship hopes. 5 seasons as an owner driver coming into season 2, he decided to try and take a break, but the driver they brought in was anything but grateful for the opportunity. So he had to come back in. And it was Dave Reese's final season in season 2 as well. As Batuco getting a track limits warning all the way down in last place. And that is very embarrassing for the app driver. As we come through the chicane, then very close is the turmoil for the drivers there. If they were any closer, if they were fighting for position, that would have been race ending. That would have been an absolute travesty for those guys. But we go on to lap 21 then. Solar setting a new fastest third sector. He's going to be going for the fastest lap of the Prix here. He's going to go beyond and go from 220 points to 246. A whole race win ahead of Bladed Dragon Sonic. It would take a miracle for him to come back from that. It does seem to be looking quite a bit sunnier now here in Amsterdam, in the country where the national plant is the tulip. It does seem to be blooming around here. Coming through that chicane, the Jaguar boys having a great race, and Raybo's gone into the wall! Into the wall goes the Revolution Racing driver, the man, the myth, the legend, and he almost gets pile-drived by Sanchez, who brakes because of the yellows. But he's definitely going to come in. He's missing his entire front wing column. They've gone 3 wide behind him. Medisa's up into 6th place, but Raybo has to pit on this lap. He does. He's come in. And that's absolutely awful for him. That would have been easy points. Easy match. But he's just lost out there. On board with Ronnie Soto, the race leader. He's on 69% tire wear. He will make it to the end, but someone else has gone into the wall, and it's Yusuf! Rookie error for the rookie driver. He's lost part of his front wing, and someone else has gone into the wall. That seems to be Batuco. No, that's Marcus Nelson in. And oh, he's hit Ronnie Sola! Oh my goodness me, the virtual safety car! And out of the race has gone the championship leader! He was looking perfect for the championship there. It was gonna be absolutely amazing for him. But no, virtual safety car ending. Into the pits comes Marcus Nelson. Catfish is in as well. And that is an absolute travesty for the team Jaguar. Can you believe it? Coming through that chicane, anything happens through there, you gotta keep your nose clean, and he just couldn't. These tires are wearing out faster than anyone expects, and it's definitely down to the banking, because you go, as well as that, through that chicane, you go over the curves naturally. There's barely any real track limits there. And someone else has gone in to the wall there. That is Stefan Salazar's teammate Aldridge. That's a yellow flag through that third sector. You see yellows through that third sector all the time. And someone else has gone off, and that's Yusuf again. Missing his front wing. And that is still just awful for him. Marcus Nelson way behind that group of cars. But out in front, we've got a safety car. Another safety car. Catfish is out. And Jaguar and Mercedes scores 0 points. Both teams are the only cars that have not finished this race. And for the drivers who are still sticking it out to the man on the penultimate lap of the Prix, Medisa's coming into the pits though. Iron Bamness is leading here in Amsterdam for Maserati. Then comes UK Ball and Daf Sanchez for Apshe Audi Sport, the red German team, looking as if they're going to take a podium here. Then comes not Lewis Hamilton and Medicis for Trulli Grand Prix. Tom O'Connor coming out of the pits now, but it's not close enough for him to come out ahead of this man, Ravo, who is in 6th. Then comes Tom O'Connor, as previously mentioned. Then Alan Lee, Corinne Chandok, and Stefan Sadazan. But Iron Bamness with a 5-second time penalty. He's going to have to be wondering when the safety car is going to come out, because it's currently going to catch everyone behind Alan Lee, it seems. Yeah, Alan Lee is the man who's just seen the safety car pop out. So Sadazan is going to catch the safety car then. And he came out ahead of that safety car. He's let it go by. That's 50 seconds behind the race leader. In other words, a lap down. He's going to catch him. He's caught him. It's the final lap of the Prix here in Amsterdam, and the final finishing order looks to be in tatters. It's looked as if the men who were leading the championship said, all right, forget a script. And they're all out of the race. It's today's Rodney Solar, Bladed Dragon Sonic, Catfish, and Stone. All out. They all led the race at some point, and they are all out of this race. And it's all down to that chicane. And Catfish retired at the chicane, and it's seemingly down to his own failure. Solar went airborne, and after colliding with Marcus Nelson, Stone and Blade Dragon Sonic both got pile-drived into that chicane wall. For Stone, it was pile-drived by Catfish, which looked like a nuclear act of destruction. But for Blade Dragon Sonic, he was taken out by this man, Ravo. But coming into that final chicane then, behind the safety car, Iron Babinus, he's going to take the flag. But unfortunately for him, it does not look as if he's going to take the win. It could always change. It's not always as it looks on paper, but coming through the final turn on the track, it looks as if it's so slow. Iron Babness wins here in Amsterdam for Maserati. Revolution Racing's UK Ball is going to come home in second place. And Apshe Audi Sport take a round of applause for surviving and getting up into P3. Then comes not Lewis Hamilton, Medicis, and Ravo. Coming through the final turn now is Tom O'Connor. Stefan Sadison and Alan Lee are both technically a lap down, but they still haven't been classified as a lap down. So they're on their final lap now. But from Corinne Chandok down, they've all been lapped. What a race! Through the chicane they go now. This is a very slow final lap for these two. I wish I didn't have to almost commentate over this. But for the championship at least, massive. this would have been a massive upset for everyone, but it's just stayed the same between the top four and the top two in the constructors as we come to the line here in Amsterdam. And this is your podium then. As expected, the Revolution Racing driver of UK Ball takes the win. It's not his first win, but it's definitely got to be his, well, most influential win for the team at least. Then comes Arnett Babness. Once again, not the first time he's been on the podium, but dang, he could have won this race. He didn't have an issue. And Daf Sanchez, well, actually, Flowery Sport, he looks as if they've been on a downward spiral, but that is just the result they need. So to run by that again, UK Ball wins from Arnett Babness and Daf Sanchez. Then comes Not Lewis Hamilton, Medicis, and Ravo. Tom O'Connor, Stefan Salazar, and Alan Lee are the drivers who finished on the lead lap. And to round out the point scorers, you have Corinne Chandok in 10th place for Chile Grand Prix. Then comes Mohamed Nawawi and Polar Rock. Sierra, Aldridge, Jake Dennis, Yusuf Batuko, Marcus Nelson finishing off your finishers. And for those who didn't finish, the two Jaguars of Catfish and Ronnie Sola, and the two Mercedes of Milestone and Bladed Dragon Sonic. In the drivers' standings, Ronnie Sola leads from Bladed Dragon Sonic, tied on points, those two are. Then comes UK Ball and Not Lewis Hamilton. I told you this would have impacted the championship more than you would have thought. Then comes Milestone in 5th, and then Ravo in 6th. Catfish is only 7th. 3 points ahead of Arnett Babness. For the top 8, Catfish isn't looking that good as we come into the final 3 races of the season. Then comes Tom O'Connor, and then Medicis, Jake Dennis, and Marcus Nelson. Daf Sanchez, 13th, then Sierra and Alan Lee. Yusuf Polarok tied on points on 22. Mohamed Nawawi on 20 points, then Batuko on 19, Stefan Salazar on 18 points, and Corinne Chandok and Aldridge are both on 13 points. In the constructors' standings, coming into the London E-Prix, Mercedes still lead on 182 points, and they're ahead of Jaguar on 350 points. Then comes Revolution Racing on 321, and they look like they might take second place in the constructors if they continue their high run of form. Then comes Maserati on 297, McLaren Neom on 89 points, Team Aguri on 65, Mahindra on 63, DS Virgin on 51 points, Apshi Flaudi Sport on 48 points, Chile Grand Prix on 35 points, and Dragon Racing on 31 points. We shall see you again next time for the London E-Prix.